October 4th, 1967. 9:25 a.m. Dear ones, thanks for sending us the beautiful Indian summer weather from Texas Way, they say. It has been very sunny and so warm lately, about like August and September should have been. The wet weather we needed is really doing us good now with this warm weather. Autumn flowers are coming on so fast and look so beautiful. I wish I could share my lovely mums with you. The tall geranium is covered with soft, downy blue ascians of bloom. The yellow mums and blue ageratum make such pretty bouquets together. I have lots of rose lavender mums, too, and the new purple-red-white mums are coming out now, too. Besides, there are lots of tall coral pink and bronze mums coming out. I like to try to take a big bouquet of mums to New York when I go a week from today in late afternoon. I may stay longer than a week. I phoned and got my reservation yesterday. I leave Kalamazoo at 4:45 p.m. and arrive in New York's Grand Central Station at 9 o'clock the next morning. Aunt Mildred sent money for a round-trip ticket with sleeper. I wish Aunt Glenna could go too, but she never goes without Uncle Almond. Anyhow, they'll be leaving next weekend to go to St. Louis for Devin Weber's wedding. All of the Webers who can be there are going to get a motel together, and it will be such a fun event. Remember Emily Jean's wedding? What fun we relatives had at the motel the night after the wedding banquet. I'm trying to remember if you were there, Joy. It was such lovely warm weather that we ate our supper outdoors last evening. I invited Jerry's and Junior's for supper, as we hadn't been together in quite a while, and I thought it would be nice before Dad, Jerry, and I went on trips. We used the big picnic table and the small one like yours, and Mark sat in our high chair. The children had such fun, and it was all very pleasant. Then we watched some of our late movies the family hadn't seen. By the time the dishes were done, it was bedtime for the youngsters. I guess Dad has about everything ready for the Idaho trip. At least he's everlastingly at it. I'm going to make him some applesauce and bake 2 chickens for them to eat on the way out. I'm sure they won't starve. Sarah Anders is fixing some of Gerald's goodies to take, too. The other fellow going with them is Glenn Baxter from Nashville. He lost his wife a year ago, so don't know if he'll have anyone to fix extras for him. He seems very nice. We were so happy to talk to you the other evening. Your voices sounded so good. Afterwards, it seemed like I could still hear you. We mailed you a large box of clothing yesterday, or rather Jerry mailed it for us. Tell Bo the knit underwear was Dad's, but he lost weight so fast he never wore them. I know Bo usually wore print cotton shorts, but hope he can use them. We sent the little suit we got for David for Christmas, but decided he'd get more use out of it to have it for this fall. Perhaps the clothes Kevin Johncock outgrew can be shared by Howie and Wendell. I thought the coat was so nice. Joyce made it. I hope you can wear the blue sweater, Joy, maybe for football games. Yesterday, Dean Armour flipped his motorbike when he hit a chuck hole on the county line road. He was wearing a crash helmet, or I guess it would have crashed his skull in, but it injured one ankle badly, hurt his opposite knee, and scraped and peeled him up badly. He won't go to the doctor and can't walk. Norma just came out again to borrow elastic bandages for his ankle. She came yesterday eve to learn what to do when he first got hurt. The doctor said to put ice on the ankle. Dean has been laid off for 2 weeks now. Don't see how they'll manage. He bought this new motorbike for $400 to drive to work in Grand Rapids. He had it about 6 weeks, I guess. We haven't heard from Jack for a long time. He did send the tapes and a card or 2 after he was at your place. I wish he'd write soon. We can't help but be concerned. Have you heard from him? I'm going to keep Mark and Billy for Dorleen Friday for noon, so she can go back to school to help Philip's teacher, Elizabeth, take the youngsters to the Bernard Museum where the hospital was. Mark has been so miserably cutting those molars and eye teeth, but guess he's been better the last 2 nights. He cries so and wants his mommy. Poor Dorleen got so worn out she had a bad cold, but now it's better. She took all the boys except Philip, who had gone to Cub Scouts at Joyce's down at Allegan County Park Monday after school. Then last evening they were here. I guess the change and warm sunshine has helped them all. Anyhow, Jerry said they slept better again last night and Monday night, too. Sunday, Dorleen was so worn out that she and Mark didn't go to church. She slept from 9 until 12, while Mark somehow slept too. He'd kept her awake until 1 a.m., Saturday night screaming and fussing. He had some cold too, but think it was mostly his sore, aching gums. He's so good when he feels well, even if he is a little mischief. Marilyn's mother is having a bad time with her leg. She had varicose veins and had them stripped some time ago. Now one spot has broken out into an ulcer, and the doctor says they can't cure those ulcers. Her dad was off work for about 2 or 3 weeks and has gone back to work again, and hope his back doesn't give out again. He suffered so terribly, and Loretta does too. I'll write Jack later. I wish we'd hear from him first. This forenoon, our old friend Bernard de Golia is to be buried. He lived near the Russell Hart place east of Aunt Glenna's on a farm for years. We went to the funeral home Monday Eve at Horton's and saw him and his family. He'd suffered so long, but the undertaker had fixed him up, so he looked like we remembered him years ago. His family was so grateful. Dad doesn't want to go to the funeral. Earl and Lois went as Earl is a pallbearer. Bernard was 80 years old, I believe, but never looked that old. We hope you are all fine as we are here. Oh yes, a partridge flew through Junior's big thermal pane picture window and died on the couch. They ate it. It cost $150, but it was covered by insurance. Glass was everywhere, but no one was hurt. Love. Dad and Mom. P.S. I think I'll go to Aunt Glenna's Friday noon after Dorleen gets home from school.